Okay, here we go. So, my name is Alyssa. My Twitter username is Kyliss, which is Qyliss, and you should follow me because I am cool. We can also take a minute to just check, is this text size okay, readable? Can you see what's going on? Bigger? Is that better? Right, this is as big as you're getting, because I do actually need to show code here. Anyway, my name is Alyssa. Follow me on Twitter because I'm cool. I work for Free Agent. We're hiring. You can come and talk to me upstairs or one of my colleagues about that. I also work on a package manager called Homebrew that you might have heard of. And Homebrew, sadly, is not hiring because we do not have the budget. But if you would like to work for free on Homebrew and are interested in how to do that, come and talk to me about that as well. But I am a minute into my lightning talk already, so I should get started. I want to talk to you about my favorite obscure parts of the Ruby standard library. So I'm hoping that I'm going to teach you at least one thing about the libraries that come with Ruby that you might not know about. So here is my first trick, and this is the delegate library. And all of these libraries come with Ruby. They're not gems that you have to install. You can just require them. The delegate library lets you very easily create objects that delegate to other objects. This is very useful if you're applying the decorator pattern. And you see here I am using the simple delegator class, and that I'm using that to create a log messages decorator. And what that does is it intercepts every message sent to the wrapped object, and which is this greeter object, and then it will output this line showing us what method was called and what parameters were passed. And you can see here I have an example of what happened when I ran that code. Next up is forwardable, which is similar. It gives you methods that are named very similarly, which is confusing. These delegator methods come from forwardable, not delegate. And this is very similar to delegate in Rails. But I don't know why Rails has its own version of this, because it's actually built into Ruby. So when you require forwardable, you get this module you can extend, and then you can delegate methods on one object to another object. So for example, here I have a user that has a profile, and the profile has a name method. And I am telling Ruby that when a user receives the name message, it should forward that on to the profile. And there's an example of that working. I can call the name method on a user object, and it gets it from the profile. Next up is option parser, which is probably my favorite. An option parser is a built-in DSL sort of thing for making command line interfaces in Ruby. Often you'll see people using gems for this. And the gems can sometimes make it a little bit easier, but I think that in most cases opparse is good enough, and it prevents you having to add a dependency. So you can see here I'm defining a command line interface. The banner is the help text for the program. And then I'm saying that when we get a name option with a value called name, then I'm just going to set that in my hash I have here. And then I will print out the hello to the passed name on the command line. And there are some examples of that. You see that option parser gives me help for free because of my option definitions and because I've given them descriptions and stuff. And when I run it, that works. So it's parsing, it's doing the parsing of these double dashes, and it knows that the next thing is the argument to that, which is really, really complex if you have to implement it yourself. And it's why Homebrew's option parsing doesn't work very well a lot of the time. I am running out of time, so I'll try and give you one more maybe. This is RexML, which is a built-in XML parser that Ruby has. You don't need no Kagiri. Though it's implemented in Ruby, so if performance is at all a concern for you, you do need no Kagiri. Shell words lets us escape shell commands. The singleton library lets us create singleton classes. I have 3 seconds left, and that is all of my examples. Thank you very much.